Did you know an entire city once danced itself into exhaustion? That's right. This is not a scene from a surreal Hollywood movie or a metaphorical expression. It actually happened. Let me take you back to the year 1518 in the bustling city of Strasbourg, then part of the Holy Roman Empire. What unfolded that year is one of the most bizarre and mysterious events in medical and social history, the dancing plague. This is the story you've probably never heard of, but one that leaves everyone baffled to this day. Welcome to history's hidden gems. It all began on a hot July day. A woman, known to history only as Frau Trophäa, walked into a narrow cobblestone street and began to dance. She moved silently and rhythmically, without any music or celebration around her. Initially, passers-by hardly paid attention. Perhaps they thought she was merely indulging in a moment of joy or eccentricity. But then, Frau Trophäa didn't stop. She danced through the morning, into the afternoon, and well into the night. Her movements were relentless. By the next day, she was still at it, her feet swollen and bleeding, yet refusing to halt. Soon, others joined her. First, just a handful, and then dozens. Rapidly, the streets of Strasbourg filled with compulsive dancers, gyrating as if under a spell. A macabre scene unfolded. People flailed about with anguished faces, many collapsing from sheer exhaustion, only to pick themselves up and continue dancing. Within a week, the hysteria had gripped over 400 people. It was no longer just a strange spectacle. It was a public health crisis. How did the officials of Strasbourg respond? In what might sound like a curious move, they concluded that the best remedy was to let the afflicted dance it out. They cleared large spaces, even erecting stages and hiring professional musicians to keep the tempo going. The idea was that indulging the dancing would exhaust whatever demonic spirit might be causing this madness. But this solution backfired spectacularly. Instead of calming the hysteria, it amplified it. People danced until their bodies gave way. Accounts confirm that at least several dozen succumbed to strokes, heart attacks, or sheer physical exhaustion. Yet the dancing continued. So, what caused this epidemic of uncontrollable movement? Modern historians, anthropologists, and medical experts have puzzled over this question for centuries. Several theories have emerged, but none have been definitively proven. One compelling explanation involves ergotism, a condition caused by consuming grains contaminated with the ergot fungus. Ergot contains chemicals that can act as hallucinogens. Imagine a medieval equivalent to LSD unintentionally slipped into your daily bread. Coupled with the extreme summer heat and malnourished, stressed population of the time, this could have tipped individuals into a collective delusion of dancing. Another plausible theory links the dancing plague to mass psychogenic illness, better known today as mass hysteria. Strasbourg in 1518 was stricken by widespread famine and disease, with its citizens teetering on the brink of despair. It's possible their anxiety found a physical outlet in the form of compulsive dancing. In this theory, the social and cultural atmosphere acted as a psychological tinderbox, with Frau Trophäa's bizarre behavior being the spark that set the city into a frenzy. However, some scholars go even further and argue for supernatural or religious explanations. Strasbourg, like much of Europe at that time, was rife with superstitions. They believed in curses, spirits, and divine punishments. Could the dancing plague have been seen as an act of penance or a sign of collective guilt? Some even claim it was tied to the cult of Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dancing. People thought invoking Saint Vitus might alleviate their uncontrollable movements. Let's not forget the role of fear and storytelling in medieval societies. Once tales of the initial dancers spread, did others join out of suggestion or paranoia? The idea of sympathetic magic, where one action could influence another across distances, was deeply ingrained in the culture of the time. People thought seeing or hearing about the dancers could be enough to make them start dancing too. Interestingly, this wasn't the only time history witnessed such wild phenomena. Similar outbreaks of compulsive dancing were recorded in other parts of Europe, albeit none as deadly as Strasbourg's. The phenomenon seemed to fade out over the centuries, leaving us more questions than answers. What's especially curious is that this outbreak challenges our notion of ancient society. It reminds us that humans, though living centuries apart, are not entirely different. Our stress, fears, and moments of mass delusion transcend time. Think about modern instances like stock market panics, moral panics, or other societal frenzies. Are they not, in some way, echoes of Strasbourg's dancing citizens? The dancing plague also begs us to question how we attribute meaning to collective behavior. Sometimes history doesn't fit nicely into a narrative or moral. Sometimes, the only lesson is that humans are wonderfully, terrifyingly unpredictable. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by modern life's rhythm, spare a thought for Strasbourg's citizens in the summer of 1518. An entire population caught in a feverish, frenetic dance, with no explanation and no merciful pause. And there you have it. Another piece of history that is both fascinating and utterly bewildering. This has been History's Hidden Gems. If you enjoyed this strange tale, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more forgotten stories from the annals of time. Who knows? The next gem just might change the way you see the world.